And here we go, Zerg versus Terran, OGS against Startail. At the top left we have Curious, and at the bottom right we have OGS, TheSCC. Zerg versus Terran is probably my most favorite matchup to watch at the moment, and I am really excited about this game. We've seen Curious play an awesome amount of Terran versus Zergs lately. He was quite unsuccessful in his Code S group. He got demoted into the first round of Code A. If you don't know about the new system of the GSL just yet, then make sure to definitely check it out on GOMTV.net. And yeah, this is the first match, the first map in this best of 3. The GSL powered by Sony Ericsson and G-Skill. This is Code A November, and it's the first round. Curious lost in his Code S group. He lost against two Terran players as well. He lost against Marine King Prime again and against Alive. But after that, he participated in the Arena of Legends in the Team Ace Invitational, and he was able to take out not only MVP but also Polt, which was kind of interesting. So we don't know yet if that was a fluke or if his Terran versus Zerg is really a lot better lately. We have a refinery for the Terran player already, so he is starting. He's starting with a gas first and trying to hide that barracks just a little bit. We have seen that a lot in the last few days, especially as Terran players seem to like to make fun a little bit about the Zerg player, and Zerg of course will try to scout the main base of his opponent, and you'll see that he doesn't see anything at all. So Curious will be curious. Why is there no barracks? What the hell is going on? And then try to scout the barracks at the bottom left. At the same time, the Zerg player is starting with a hatchery first on his own. He's immediately starting to build his spawning pool as well and droning up quite a little bit. No gas so far for the Zerg player, and as you can see, he's not really trying to scout that barracks. And we have the factory right away after the barracks finished, which is kind of common if you go for a gas first timing, because with the gas first, you will basically make sure that as soon as your barracks is finished, you will have enough gas to throw down the factory and get the reactor later on as well, which is exactly what's going to happen right now. Most Terran players try to get those reactor Hellions and expand behind them. Just try transition into an expansion play after they start with the Hellion harass, and yeah. I have to admit that because that's basically the standard strategy that most Terran players play lately, kind of wondering if that's really something that you should still do if you're a Terran player, because the Zerg player is expecting exactly that and will be able to react accordingly. But Linux, for example, also in the Arena of Legends, was taken out simply by that double Hellion harassment. He made one or two mistakes in the early stage of the game and lost so many drones to his opponent that he had to leave the game right away. So apparently there is still a lot of potential, still a lot of danger when you are facing that kind of strategy. And here we go, the initial Zerglings are trying to scout what's happening and are being taken out by these Hellions. For that Zerglings, two Hellions still mixed. There's Hellion number 2 and number 3 and 4. And at the same time, we have one starport. Is it going to be Cloak? It's certainly going to be a Banshee. No Cloak, doesn't have the gas for it. And here are those Hellions sneaking into the main base, trying to squeeze past those Queens, and immediately killing drones, killing the first one, delaying mining as well. Oh, this is looking really, really good right now for the STC. He's doing an awesome job at that. Didn't lose all too many Hellions. He didn't lose a single Hellion just yet. There are 4 Hellions in the main base of Curious. He can't be all too happy about that. And more Zerglings are being grilled, barbecued right away. And here we go. Is he able to take out those drones? No, all 4 Hellions just die. And now it's time for the Banshee play. Here comes the first Banshee. 2 Hellions are still in the mix. So the first Banshee, we have Metabolic Boost being researched for Curious. Curious already has 1 Spine Crawler up at the choke point and is flying to the main base of his opponent with one of the Overlords trying to get a glimpse at what's happening. But there's just nothing he can see right now. Funny as it is, there's no Marine so far, so he can't kill the Overlord. But there's the Banshee in the main base, taking out the first taking out the first drone, the second drone as well, not being repelled by that single queen. The second one immediately joins the first one in order to help out. 4 kills already on that Banshee. We have 1 evolution chamber, and there's the third queen just trying to get into a good position. I really like about Curious' play that he already connected his two bases with a 1 creep tumor that just enables him to get that third queen from the expansion spot to the main base in time to defend against those Banshees. So that was really well done by him, and I love this SCV. Have a look at that. This is amazing. He has 1 SCV in position to repair the Banshee. For some reason it doesn't really do it. Oh, now he started. Okay, here we go. And that Overlord was finally taken out, which is why Curious is now supply blocked. Expansion being built after that harassment by the Terran player in blue by OGS TheStC. Let's have a quick look at the numbers. We have another barracks being built, 2 barracks, 3 barracks, 29 to 28 harvesters. There will be 2 mules, 2 potential mules, with the second command center being upgraded to an orbital command fairly soon, and it's time for harassment once again. Here comes that Banshee. Oh, needs to be careful. 6 kills in total and is just able to retreat. There's 1 Viking trying to get some kills, was able to take out one of the Overlords. A little bit of Hellion harassment stopped by that Spine Crawler and the Queens, and Zerglings moving into the natural, trying to put pressure onto the SCVs. Another one is dead. Just not able to take down the mule. Let's have a look at the workers killed. 2 workers killed by Curious, 8 killed by his opponent. And there's another add-on at the reactor. Nice creep spread by Curious, focusing a lot on that. I really like that quite a lot. He has his third queen and he's making good use of it. He's just trying to spread his queen as far as possible. That will always delay the Terran pushes just a little bit, because if you're a Terran player, you should be quite comfortable on moving too far onto creep, on sieging up there, because your opponent will always know what you're up to. You will always have that speed advantage on the creep as well. So spreading creep is really essential, not only in order to get vision, but also in order to have that slight speed advantage over your opponent when you're fighting on it. And as I already mentioned, if the Terran player really wants to kill those tumors and make sure that the creep retreats, he needs to sacrifice a lot of scan. He needs to scan fairly often, and at the same time his push will be delayed a little bit, because he needs to wait until the creep has actually retreated. There's no gas at the natural expansion so far. He should take it fairly soon, as he is now getting the armory as well in order to get access to the +2/+2 attack and armor upgrades. We already see the +1 attack upgrade being researched. He doesn't have combat shield so far. Is researching Stim at the same time. Let's have a quick look at the army supply. 27 for Curious, 37 for his opponent, 55 workers against 46. And here we go, Zerglings trying to put some pressure onto the Hellions, trying to kill them, but no, that's exactly what I mentioned. He needs to scan. He's killing all those creep tumors though. He's killing a lot of them. And here's that Zergling run by. But STC, he actually pays attention to the minimap. He knows what's happening. He knows about the dangers of the Zerg player running his Lings into his main base and put up a nice wall with a factory and all those supply depots. We have a Spire now built by the Zerg player and 1 additional refinery by STC. He's really aware about how much gas he actually needs now. Places down the fourth refinery, and there's that combat shield that we've been waiting for, as well as the +2 attack upgrade. He should get a second engineering base so that he's able to dual upgrade, placing down some missile turrets. And usually what's going to happen is that at around the 11-minute mark, the first Mutalisks will pop out and enter your main base, but Curious is taking a little bit of a safer route. His Mutalisks are delayed a bit, therefore, and the STC, with his scans and with the scouting information that he had, is aware of that and is placing down the missile turrets just in time to react to that Mutalisk harassment that will probably hit his base fairly soon. We have 1 Baling nest built by the way, and oh, here we go. There are those Mutalisks trying to nip away a little bit at those Marines. Third base now for the STC as well. There are the Marines, and the Baneling busted on the main base, taking out 3D posts in the process. Any supply block, all those Zerglings are streaming in now, but the stim for the Marines, and all those Zerglings are being taken out. I'm not too sure if Curious really came out ahead in that trade-off, but he was able to take down 3 of the supply depots at the same time, delay the push of his opponent a little bit. But I think that Curious hoped for a little bit more of damage, especially in regards to the economy of his opponent. There's still that third base for the STC. Let's have a look at the workers killed. 9 workers killed by Curious. There are those Mutalisks chipping away at the tanks, at the Hellions, basically at everything that they can reach. And the second engineering base up for the STC by now. He's researching +2 armor and +2 attack at the same time. Also the siege upgrade for his tanks coming up. And we have that fourth base of Curious not saturated so far. Nice, the Zerg player taking out one of the mules. That's fairly important. 135 supply for Startail Curious against 129 for the STC. Baneling speed being researched now. Once again, the Banshee tries to put some pressure onto the economy of the Zerg player, but the Mutalisks and the Queens are there in time. And I really like about Curious that he's trying to be at 2 or 3 spots at the same time. He's just trying to make good use of his multitasking. Now taking down a lot of these SCVs. There come the first Marines and also one of the Vikings. He should take out the Viking. Oh! Small blunder right there, losing a Medivac and a Viking as well as additional SCVs. The STC not looking all too good in that encounter. As you can see, we have 63 army supply for Curious, 79 for OGS, the STC. And he's getting a little bit ahead, but one has to note that the upgrades of STC are actually quite comfortable. He's on 2 upgrades right now, getting the +3 attack upgrade. And I really like that. I really like it when a player focuses on upgrading his army. For the Zerg player, we have the Baneling speed upgrade already done. He's still on lair tech, trying to harass with the Mutalist, taking out one of the turrets, the second one as well. There are no attempts by the SCVs in order to repair. Have a look at the army composition. 64 Marine supply, 3 tanks for Medivacs, 13 Mutalisks. And he's getting the armor upgrade now. Armor upgrade for his ground units, +1 and +2 attack upgrade. You can see that the Terran player is really way ahead in upgrades. We have +1 attack upgrade for the Mutalisks as well, but he really needs to make an effort in order to close the gap in upgrades if he wants to succeed in that game, because those Marines are just so strong right now. And there are the Banelings and the Marines. Here we go. Oh, he needs to connect with the Banelings. Oh, he's not able to do that. Nice split by OGS. The STC taking out a lot of the Mutalisks as well. Jesus, what a blunder, what a mistake by Curious right there, losing most of his Banelings and a lot of Mutalisks at the same time, +3 being researched for the Marines. Here we go, another attack, and this time he might be a little bit more successful, but there are tanks in the back, taking out a lot of Banelings. Now we have Curious moving in for the kill, trying to take out not only the tanks, but also the Medivacs, doing a good job at that, and both players are tight in supply. We have 132 against 137. But 1,000 minerals banked up for the Terran player, taking out that fourth base of Curious. And oh yes, he is the OGS player, expanding once more, trying to throw down another command center. He still has a lot of Marines, 14 Banelings though. For the Zerg player, will he be able to take out the Marines with those Banelings? The tanks should give some cover for the Marines. Here we go, unsieging, very nice timing by the Zerg, just trying to go for it, and yes, this time it looks much better for the Zerg, killing a lot of Marines. Oh, this was horrible for the STC, down to 126 supply against 150. Curious just replenishing his army in the blink of an eye. We have that Medivac potential drop coming in, and a fourth base being built for Curious, +2 attack upgrade for the Mutalisks is now being researched, as well as the +2 attack upgrade, which is about to finish. Whoa, this game is exactly what we hoped for. I really like that. We are 20 minutes into the game and both players have roughly the same supply. And here is that Medivac immediately dropping the first Marines. What the hell? That was a little bit, let's call it unfortunate. Not very successful. Walking towards the expansion spot with the Marines, but the Marines are taking out immediately at the same time with a small circling attempt of putting pressure onto the Terran player. Not also successful, but they might be able to delay that expansion a bit. The Medivac being taken out by the Mutalisks. We have 19 of them on the map. 61 Zerglings, no Bailings. And have a look at the minimap. Have a look at that creep spread. That is really, really great. He's doing a good job at that. And that makes life for the for the Terran player so much harder. But the STC is doing quite a good job at defending. He's getting a 4th base now as well. So it's not just relying on the 3 bases that he already has. He's getting that 3rd base. Might even get a planetary fortress instead of an orbital command. Yes, here we go. Planetary fortress upgrade as well as 3 missile turret upgrades. We have the first 4 coming into the mix of the Terran army. And I like that quite a lot. I have to admit that a lot of the Korean Terran players get Thors very late in the game, and Thors are just so helpful if you want to deal with Mutalisks. You don't have to get too many of them, but even one single Thor will help you out quite a lot, because what a Zerg player will try to achieve with those Mutalisks is just catch single units out of guard. Maybe a Medivac that's hovering somewhere, maybe a siege tank that's not babysitted by too many Marines, and take that out. And if there's a Thor in the mix with a huge range, then Mutalisks have a lot harder job to do because they can't really cluster, and that's exactly what you do with Mutalisks automatically. If you start focusing single units, you will cluster them, and that's what Thors are made for. So getting that 1 or 2 Thors in your army when you deal with Mutalisks is just a huge deal. You still need those Marines, they are really, really important, but 1 or 2 Thors will make life much easier for you. We have +3/+3 attack upgrades for the Bio army, as you can already see. The +1 attack upgrade for the siege tank has been researched though as well. And the Ghost Academy is now getting the Möbius reactor, while the Terran player is starting to get aggressive, tries to put pressure on that 4th base. There are a lot of Bailings. Man, that's 29 Bailings right there. 56 Marines. There come the Mutalisks. Will they be able to magic box that Thor? It doesn't look like it. Yes, here we go. Finally putting some pressure on those units, and most of the Marines have been being killed by the Bailings. But as you can see, most of the Bailings are gone by now. 14 are left. And here we go, 150 supply against 164. All those Medivacs will die, as well as that one single Thor that we just saw crumbling beneath the strength of the Mutalisks. And oh my god, will he be able to hold that push? The STC is trying to siege up. 2 of the tanks are gone, but all those Marines are just taking out Mutalisks left, right, bottom and center. And that base will fall. The 4th base of Curious is gone. And he is in a lot of trouble right now, playing with 3 bases against 4. He dropped down to 128 supply against 172. Still, there's a huge upgrade advantage for the Terran player, and he's getting a lot of ghosts. He's getting a lot of ghosts now. 3 at the same time, and that will help him so much. Oh, does Curious... Oh, is he able to take out the SCVs? No, he's not. He's not. He takes out one of the missile turret, but that's about it. Immediately the STC is making sure that there's enough defense to deal with the Mutalisks, and he's in a commanding position right now. He has the upgrade advantage, he has the economy advantage, and the army advantage as well. As you can see, 65 army supply against 115. There are the Banelings at the top, but if the SCC is able to take out that base as well, it might already put an end to Curious in this first game. Keep in mind, we are watching a best of 3 right now. Another expansion attempt by the SCC is being caught off guard by Curious Mutalisks, taking out that command center, but already the Terran player has killed that 4th base by his opponent. And Curious, what else can he do? He really needs that 4th base. He tries to put it down at the top right again. You can see that in his main base there are no mineral patches left. At his expansion there's just one tiny bit with 20 minerals. That's basically nothing, and he has that huge engagement, and Curious trying to go for it. He tries to win that game, win that fight, but he's not able to do so. He kills a lot of units, but it's not enough. It won't be enough. There are still Marines and Thors left to deal with the Mutalisk, and Zerg players down to 114 supply, with OGS, the STC, commanding 157 supply, which results in an army supply of 91 against 54, and that looks pretty grim for his opponent. The STC not perfect in his unit control, as you could see right there, but still he can afford it. He certainly can afford it, taking out 2 of the Banelings as well. Now moving towards that 4th base at the top right, taking out the Zerglings, taking out drones. There are so many medivacs able to heal those Marines with the 3 upgrades. There's just nothing that Curious can do right now. He will lose that first game. Once again, the Terran player is able to deny mining. There are some snipes against the Mutalists, and here we go, the GG, as Curious realizes that he doesn't stand a chance against the Terran army. Okay guys, brilliant, very nice first game. That's exactly what we want to see, a nice long game. Zerg versus a Terran, and yes, the STC is taking map number 1. Once again, if you just tuned in, ladies and gentlemen, there is a second stream I'm casting on my own right now. You may have realized already that we don't have any commercial breaks on this stream, and we don't have a camera feed, so that you can actually see me. Today, I really thought I would be on camera, and I put on my best clothes. I'm looking pretty damn sexy right now, but you can't see it, and I'm really sorry for that. So, well, yeah, kind of a bummer, but still I'm already getting comfortable. And yeah, Doa and Wolf, those two, they are casting for you this on the second stream, commentating. So if you want to check out their stream, that's fine as well. Definitely have a look over there. They're casting different matches. There are so many matches today in the first round of the Code A, and we wanted to provide you with 2 streams, which is why we set up this second one. I'm casting on my own right here, trying to give you an idea about the other matches. So thank you guys for tuning in, and here's the second game coming up between Curious and the STCs against Terran.